Hey, this is Ron. Ron's Woodturning. After surviving that last little incident with the cedar bowl flying off the lathe, I got a weekend project, and it's going to take all weekend, so I'm going to have to patch it all together. But I'm going to make a bug light. Now you may be asking, what is a bug light? So I went around and I collected all these bugs. These are like, we call them locusts, but they come out of their shell. Now you can see where they split out towards the head. So I'm going to put these into a mold. It'll be acrylic in the middle, and this is mahogany top, bottom and top. And I'm going to use a piece of sacrificial wood, and I have it chucked up on the lathe now, so let me get something. So I'm going to use this 2-inch Forstner bit, and when I drill out the mold, all the wood's going to disappear. So all I got to do is polish the inside, shape the outside like I want it, and it's going to take a while, because I got to make the bottom, I got to make the top, and I got to put the acrylic in there, and I'm going to color the acrylic. I don't have any orange for Halloween, but I have some red and yellow mica powder. Now I have some orange alcohol dye, but it has water in it, and Alumilite and water don't like each other, so it'll get milky, cloudy, foamy, whatever. But this is super dry, fine particles, and I think if I mix them right, I can get close to orange. And I don't want it solid orange, I just want it swirly orange. It may not come out, we'll see. But I got the Alumilite water cleared, and it gives me more time to work with. It gives me enough time to get it poured into the mold, well actually mixed up really well, and then poured into the mold, and then I'll carry it out into the other side of my shop where I got my pressure pot set up, and I'll squish it up with 50 pounds of pressure and let it ride overnight, and then demold it. And anyway, let's do it. It ain't gonna get done talking about it. I lost my remote. Anyway, hang in there. Okay, so first things first is I'm going to make this round, and I'm going to make it a little smaller in diameter than my 2-inch Forstner bit. And then I'm going to glue all them bugs on it. And when they're dry, I'm going to put it in the mold. Alright, so it's all less than 2 inches. And I'm only going to need about this much of it. So I'm going to take it out the bandsaw and cut it. Okay, so now it's not as wiggly. So I'm going to put it on the legs and then put it on the wood, because I think that'll work better. Put a drop of glue on the leg, stick it on the wood, this is going to be fragile. Alright, 2 down. Alright, so just gonna go around and around and around till I get all 12 of these bugs on there. And I'll probably end up fighting it, but that's normally the way my projects go. So we'll see. I'll come back when I got them glued on. Alright, so I got all the bugs glued on there. It looks like I need to go find a couple of more bugs because I got some bare spots. So I'm going on a bug hunt. I'll be back. Alright, I found a few more bugs. So now what I'm going to do, let me get this mold, is I'm going to drop this in here. And I don't know if you can tell, let me turn it up, but you'll notice that they don't touch the walls of the mold, and that's what I want. I just want the wood to go away. So this is going to work. Alright, so I'm not going to like go into detail, but basically you just mix part A and part B equal weight. So I have a scale, and I have a container, and then I have a larger container to pour them both in. And I'm only going to mix the mica powder into the A side, and then when I mix it with the B, I might touch it up, might not. Anyway, we'll look at it. Okay, so there it is, poured into the mold. I'm going to carry it out there and put it in my pressure pot, and worry about it tomorrow. And I know I'm going to have some air bubbles inside of those bugs, but I don't think I'll have any on the outside of them. So we'll look at it later. So there ain't much you can do now except wait overnight, but I can work on the bottom, and I can start the top. Can't finish it till I know what the inset's going to be like. So I'm going to start on the bottom. And I'm going to turn it to where I can clean the face off, flip it around in a mortise, and then clean the other side off, because when that mold comes out, I got to smash it on there. So I can't turn it to exact diameter yet, but I can get it to where I can glue it. And then, so that's what I'm going to do next. Alright, I took it out of the mold, and I got no bubbles. I know it's kind of dark, but it's just got a film over it, so once I turn it and polish it, you'll be able to see them bugs. You can see the little heads poking out right there. And I want to kind of give it a slight arc shape before I glue the bottom on. Because right now I got it squished between centers really well, and that's going to help me establish a perfect circle here, so that whenever I match it up to the wood, all I got to do is shape the wood to fit this, because this is the star. The wood is just a cap. Okay, so I got a few little tiny imperfections on here, so I'm just going to top it off with a little CA glue. And that'll fill them little bitty tiny voids. And then when I sand it, you'll never know it's there. And I guess that was part of the bug sticking out, I'm not sure. But that's gonna polish up really nice. Ooh man, as soon as I wetted it, you can see them bugs perfect in there with a little bit of that orangey, goldish, yellow particles. This is gonna be fine. Wow, do you see how that popped as soon as I put that liquid on there? And I don't want to go any further because I don't want to hit them bugs. I want to leave that layer around them. And I'm not going to bother sanding it right now. I got a little nub right here that I'm going to take to the bandsaw and cut it off. That's where it's hitting in the little drive spur there. And then I'm going to use a flat surface with 80 grit sandpaper to rough up the bottom. And after that, I'm going to glue it onto this plate, which has a mortise in it. And still hold it between centers till I get the shape like I want it. So I'll be back. Well, when I put it on the bandsaw, I wasn't able to get it perfectly 100%. No gaps flat. So what I'm going to do is take the diameter of this right here and countersink it at about 1/4 inch deep in here. It'll also help me get this perfectly centered, because this is perfectly centered. So if I cut a round hole, it's going to be centered, and then this will fit in the hole. Plus it'll glue better and I'll feel better. So let me give that a go. And look at there. Perfect. Alright, so can't do much now except epoxy that in there. That's really going to hide the imperfections on the bottom. So I got a center point here, got a center point here. When I squish this with epoxy in there, it's going to be just fine. Just a mixing and a mixing and a mixing. Just a mixing and a mixing. Alright, so let's get some glue action happening. And I want a bunch on there because I want it to squish up the sides. I can always turn that back off. Plus it'll help fill all the voids. Alright, that's a pretty good layer right there. Let's smear the rest inside of here. Alright. Let's do it. Perfect. Squished up just like I wanted it. Alright, can't play with that for a while. I can wipe a little bit of it up. There. Beautiful. Alright, be back when it's dry. Alright, this last step, I went all the way up to 4,000, and then this is some plastic polish. I'm letting it haze over. And then I'm going to buff it pretty high RPM. And I can see in there really good. And when I get that wood out of the middle, it's just going to be blah. It's going to be great. I love it. So far, it's turning out great. Now I put a little orange. I like pretty orange, so I'm just going to keep soaking it in. And it's not sticking to the acrylic part, so that's good. It hurts me. So I went with shine juice. The acrylic, gorgeous, but the wood's soaking it up as usual. So I just put a few more coats on it. Because mahogany is thirsty wood. Give it time to dry. Alright, well this is the first time to use my fancy hollowing tool. And I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about it. But I got it set up properly and we're going to give it a shot. It's real stable. And it's set at the perfect height. Maybe a little tad higher off center. But I don't think that'll matter much. We'll see as we get going. So I don't even know how fast it's turning. I'm going to try 700. See if it'll eat that. I think I could go faster. The wood's pretty soft, that's why I picked it. See what it acts like when I get out to the acrylic. Yeah, I've come up another couple of hundred. Hope it didn't break. Okay. Not having a lot of luck lately. But I can fix this. You can see just the corner is just a little too heavy for that shallow mortise. It's my fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it between centers, and I'm going to make a tenon. And then I'll cut the damn thing off with a saw later, but it's going to stay on there this time. It didn't mess with none of the acrylic. The acrylic's all still perfect. It's got one little ding on the wood right here. It's easy to get out. So it's going to work out. It's just going to take another half a day. Okay, I got it between centers and it is still perfectly lined up, not out around in any way whatsoever. So this is going to work out. It's just frustrating. But it's so pretty. I'm going to finish it. Okay, time for the top. And I got my dimensions for the top edge. I got my dimensions to fit into the vessel, and I'll do the hole and then flip it around and finish the top completely. So right now I'm just going to cut it down to this edge and then round it in like a dome. So let's do that. Alright, so I cut a flat spot here so I'll be able to hold it in my chuck and get that place to put my light in. So I'm taking it off of here and I'm going to set up my longworth chuck on the other side and proceed into making that little hole right there. And then I'll sand it up. Then I'll flip it around, put it on my pin jaws, and finish the top. Okay, I got the diameter set right while I had it on the other lathe. I made sure that it fit inside the vessel. So now all I got to do is shape this lid, and I'm going to make it kind of rounded, and then I'm going to go out in the yard and find me some kind of piece of wood to make a handle for it. So I'm going to get busy. Well, I just finished up shining up the lid. Now I gotta find something to make kind of a handle, and I don't want it to be a straight up and down. I think I'm gonna go out in the yard and cut me a branch and whittle it down and then put that on there. Alright, I finished it. I'm glad y'all stuck around. I'm not gonna put a handle on it. I like it like it is. And I say I'm finished. I just got to cut that tenon off of there. But there it is. And the lid fits tight. And if you just twist the little thing, you got a light. And you can see the bugs. So there you go. Bug light. That's a lot of fun. It kind of kicked my butt there for a little bit, but I got it. And just in time for Halloween. But anyway, I'm glad y'all got to spend some time with me, and like and subscribe. And y'all have a great day.